The Market Sniper, welcome. Yes, here we are with you. What a week for the anti-fiats, particularly Goldilocks. Gold, gold, gold. What a boy. And of course, silver had a smasher. And J-Pow chatted today and he said people are underestimating, that we can't still, do more rate hikes. People think it won't happen. And we're here to warn you that it might. And you know what? That's supposed to be bad for gold, silver, and everything else. He had nothing else to offer apart from saying, rates can still go higher. And the markets went up anyway. What market? Gold market went up. What other markets went up? Silver market went up. Bitcoin looking reasonably firm as well. Anti-fiats are dominating dollar right now. Anti-fiats. And huffing and puffing about possible rate hikes to come in America being, underpriced, hasn't changed how the market chose to react. Let's go look at an annotated chart that I did for you on what happened today in gold. So here we go, the charts. Many of you will notice that we have said repeatedly over an extended period that the fourth one will be the break that holds. And we've said once, twice, three times a lady, and then you trans your gender into a muscly male bolter, and that is kind of what I've drawn up here. You've heard me say it so many times that you know it is true that we have said this. This next one will be the one that will not materially revisit 2K again. So 2K now becomes support in our view, and this is going to be a beginning of a really powerful phase all the way up to 2.9, which is not the end of the journey, it's the next major step. So we're talking to you about, you're now above 2000, but it traded it as low as 1780 in its last down leg over here, and despite that, we've been saying all along that the next major move will in fact be through to the 2.9s and the foothold threshold, which I could see a technical run of the 3Ks in much the same way as we've had these technical runs of the 2Ks three times before eventually we're getting the blue bolter. We're leaving the transgender pink and we're turning into the blue bolter. Yes, indeed. So let's have a look at the charts live. It's come off a tiny bit since when I was taking that. What was its price at? Let's have a look. We need to even, when I took this picture for doing this video, 2069. Oh, there's the number, 2069. There's your bolter. Let's go and have a look how it feels like we're at the close today. It's 2067 at the moment, but the seminality of this moment, and I got all my team to say, get me on all our gold guys. We were on Palisades Radio with Tom Broderick. We were with the Miles Franklin guys with Elijah, and we got one or two others still in, all because we were saying, this is the one. Really it is. And the problem with the metals market is so many people all the time say it's going up, and that there's only ever a good time to buy. There's never a moment where it might sell. That people almost get what I call cry wolf syndrome. And you've got to be a bit more temperate about how many times you measure. You've got to be prepared to say that's not good structure. You're going to sell off through that grind line, and that's exactly what happened. We also had a little inverted. We warned that there might be a trading short even on gold and silver, while still being a macro investment long play on the smaller time frames. Why? Because that's if you're doing real technical analysis, what sometimes typically is shown to you by the markets. And again, I'll show you that little period, and you can see that was when the last time we said trading profits into buying and stacking more silver and long. They were going to dump it, and that was your final flush out. And now since then you get almost like a final capitulation. We ran back up to that 2K. That 2K is such a seminal level. Now of course we're on a lower time frame, so it's almost assured, I would say, that, well, you've got a November close. Let's go to the monthlies. Let's highlight that the November close, because it's the 1st of December. Wow, there's so few shoplifting days left to Christmas. Where's the CEO gone? We have to ask. So if you have a look at that candle there, that is the end of November, and the high for that month. And this is in dollars now. This is in dollars. So October, I highlighted in October on most currencies, not the dollar, you were closing at all-time highs for gold. Now you are seeing on the November month, which just finished a day ago, if I'm on the month time frame, you will see the close on this chart was at high $2,052, close $2,036. Last month, meaning one day ago, end of November, was the highest monthly close of gold, and we've been saying this and highlighting it, how it was doing it against all other currencies and saying the dollar is coming soon, once, twice, three times a lady, fourth time you're through. And here you are. Here's exactly what we said, busy happening. And many other times people said to the moon gold here or to the moon gold here, or failed to recognize that there was pivoting. So we want to highlight and earn some cred. We don't get everything right, and at the same time we've got to stay humble, and the market will fool you. And it's not actually about being right, it's about how much money you make. You can be right if you're not in the trade, it's worthless. You can sometimes be wrong and then quickly adjust and make money. So it's all about actually what you do in terms of a trading context. But this is going to be part of a journey that I see is going to be pretty steady. There will be pullbacks. It's not going to be straight lines. But last time after the HVF, the Hunt Volatility Funnel, let's just give you a reminder of that, and you jumped in on that falling wedge on the lower time frame, you'd see it. That was a pretty strong bull market run. In a matter of about 6 months, you went from 1100s, low, upper, mid 1100s to 2000. And that's kind of $900. And actually, we're looking for something pretty similar here, about 1,000 from those lows, 1,100 from here. Or if you're taking it from the breakout at 2K, you're talking about $900, $950 plus from the 2K mark to take you to that fulcrum. I think technically you're going to run that 3,000. So what typically happens is, this is understanding order flow. Lots of orders sit at the round number looking at you through the slot. That is the 3,000 mark. Not many people are putting in sell orders at 2999.99 and 2999.98. No, they're just sitting there at 3K. So what tends to happen is you get sucked to the 3K as you approach it, because there's thin order ladder. So that's why you always have, and it's one of the HVF method's key laws and rules, is that your key levels of significance must be run and then you fall back through. So if you think about volume by price, the horizontal guy, the offers go very thin just before a big round number, and then there's suddenly a whack of them. So you get sucked with real momentum. That gets lots of FOMO buyers rushing in, and then when you all hit the 3,000, a whole bunch of market orders get triggered, and they can't all get filled at 3,000. So you trade 3,001, 3,002, and then you have the suck through momentum as you go through big levels, and then you relapse down. It's called voids and vacuum in the bid and ask stack, and it's also got a big relevance, the round numbers, with, of course, the derivative market. So there's lots of call options that suddenly will come into the money, or puts that will go out of the money, etc., etc. So there's a lot of derivative pegging that goes on. Anyway, so this was a seminal month, the ending last month, because it's the highest price point for gold ever. Now, how many central banks were discussing that? Did J-Pow mention how awesome gold is doing, and he's really excited how it's pumping to new highs? Did he now? Did he really? I think not. And any of the other central bankers going on about gold is a big bull? No, you come here to be told that the market will go up, because they're the criminals. They are the proliferate criminals. This is highlighting their proliferation, their right to print money, and that's why they are the gazillionaires, and you aren't. You're their peasants. And I'm here to help you become less peasant, more wealthy, and a richer slave. And that's what we've got to do. And we've got to know who to trust and who won't be saying certain things and who will. So you come here for your information and not there. And you give us a like for telling you exactly how it is, because we are one of you looking to achieve the same thing. And technical analysis is the game. Hunt volatility funnel method is the way that you get to find out what is coming next. Click the like. First link in the description below. Book a call, have a chat. You could be getting this earlier and sooner. So we've also spoken about platinum and how oversold platinum. Now, a small little bit of information on platinum. That's not the video. This fine gentleman just before the Peter Schiff video. Over here, Dr. Davis, he is a lifetime platinum analyst in South Africa. He's talking about Eskom and the problems in South Africa. Something he didn't discuss, but I'm going to tell you, is that Iscor was a huge steel maker in South Africa. It got bought out a decade or so ago by Mittal and became Mittal Steel. That's the Lakshmi Mittal mega billionaire Indian guy who was involved in scandals in the UK. Where he was able to buy various British steel assets after making substantial donations to the Labour Party. Yes, you know how that stuff works. You know how the big game works. The corrupt are doing their corrupt tricks as usual, as ever, and stealing the family silver on the cheap. That's how it goes. That's how it works. Well, they are actually discussing pulling out of South Africa due to the irregular supply of state energy. So the Eskom, the state supplier, has pre-planned many hours of load shedding every single day. Every single day we say we cannot and will not provide during this period. We're providing too much power. We can't cope. We've made no investment since 1993. That's now getting on for about 30 years. No investment on plants that are now 45 to 60 years old. And we thought, screw the maintenance as well. And we thought, let's put cheap coal in there, which invariably clogs them up, and sell the high grade stuff to China and get more money. Short-termism, and a bunch of mafia theft and everything else, and bungs. And isn't this easy? And take the money on the income, but make none of the investment. And as a result, middle class, upper middle class, all have power via batteries and solar panels for running their homes and B&Bs and businesses, but big industry that have to dig massive holes, grab tons of rock, bring it to the surface, a huge effort, crush it and refine it. That requires an awful amount of energy, and many of them do not have the wherewithal at the moment to provide that with it's quite a few solar panels required. Let's just leave it at that. And as a result, the costs are going to go immensely up. Also, what he says in platinum, and we'll take a look at the charts as well, is that it is the green energy and fuel cells are going to be utilizing and needing platinum, and platinum should in fact actually be included in the likes of cobalt, lithium and copper in terms of being the green metals. And the concern there is 73%, let's just say this again, 73% of all platinum comes from, you guessed it, where this gentleman resides, where I'm sitting right now, South Africa, the country. And in case you think, well, maybe the other 27% will bring it in. The other 27% is 10% in Russia, 8% in Zimbabwe. So there you go. You've got another 18 of the remaining 27, 18 of the 27. So there's only 9% of global supply that is not South Africa, Russia, or Zimbabwe. And I'm afraid Zimbabwe at 8% does not suddenly scale up and turn into a 33% or a 27% producer. In fact, what he says as well is all qualities as always are going down. New mines are definitely not coming. They're very close to cost at the moment. Their cost per rand ounce is 20,000 rand, he says, at the moment. Gone up from 17,000. Don't forget, you can't flatline pay miners. They're all unionized workers. Cost of everything is going up for everybody, including in South Africa. And the concern is, he's saying the rand hasn't depreciated enough. So when you're getting 900 odd dollars for sub $1,000 for platinum, you're not getting 20,000 rand, because you're at an exchange rate of about 18.77 on the South African rand to the US dollar, all of which we'll take a little look-see. So you're talking about the elephant in the room provider at 73%, and the next biggest being 10 and 8, and then rats and mice, the rest of them for 9%. Many other countries in the world spread all around. So platinum is truly, truly rare and very concentrated in a country that doesn't do power. How's that for a great... And no new mines, ore grade is reducing. So all the data that is being produced coming off UN stats under the ground, we all know what we think of the United Nations, who formed it, Rockefeller, etc., and the purposes are hopelessly optimistic on A, the supply of platinum, and B, its ability to meet the hydrogen needs, and South Africa's ability to produce. So they are currently at about 3,800 to 4,000 odd post-COVID, where people are actually needing 6,000 plus ounces, or was it tons? God, I'm going to get the number mixed up, whether it was for the year or the month. Anyway, they're at about 60-70% of what people expected them to be, and the load shedding is going to get worse. It's going to become a niche provider. Here's what I think happens with Eskom. It becomes a niche provider. Many other alternatives exist, or it is run completely into the ground and is phoenixed and privately sold away from state assets, so that citizens lose their power company, which they effectively part own, because of bad management, crush it, ruin it, destroy it. It gets phoenixed back up with triple the prices to some private hedge fund type, which is invariably Zionist control banking cartel, and they become the new guys, and they know straight away what to do it, and becomes quite efficient, but the cost is 3x. And many people are all fragmented and in solar panels and other things. So that's where it goes for power. So power mines are going to need to become power independent. And what do you think that does to their cost? Having to buy tons of silver inside solar panels to do their own power, so that they don't have grid down. Now, they already have gens for the safety elements of bringing people up under the ground and do that, but that's not production. That's just for getting everyone out the hole when the power gets cut by Eskom, so that there's nobody trapped underground. So here you have the situation. And what does that mean? Well, you need more platinum, because palladium got kind of expensive and got more expensive than platinum, and we're going to look at that. We gave the trade platinum palladium, short the palladium, long the platinum, and we'll be updating you on it. But it's pretty clear that the platinum group is going to become a very important group of metal. Now, at one point, the reason why the SA companies could continue to function is they were also pulling out about 8 metals, and one of them was rhodium. And rhodium, of course, ran super high. It is no longer super high. It's come down considerably, having hit incredible sums. It's come back down to about 4,000 an ounce. It is more scarce than even platinum and palladium. So there's really scarce metals in the platinum group. But unfortunately, it was cross-subsidizing, the collection of rhodium was cross-subsidizing the losses that have been made on platinum and palladium to some degree. But palladium has absolutely collapsed too. So you've got both rhodium and palladium has collapsed, and platinum hasn't proportionately moved up to the same degree that those are down. So we actually have a grossly undervalued, loss-making platinum group metal mining industry right now, that are actually only getting paid at $900 to their 20,000 cost, well under, and are relying on the odd one or two of the very rare ones to bail them out, and that pricing has come right back down. So a little bit of a reminder of some of that. This video, super interesting. Go and catch a watch on it. Resource Talks. In fact, I'll give him a sub there. And it was interesting that he got this gentleman on. I found them a bit slow talking, so I was watching it at about 1.75, almost 2. But you'll work that out for yourself. Okay, so this is the beginning of the move for that flag continuation, that in our opinion, and this is not, as I keep stressing, the end of the move. It is probably just the next key interim point where you pause for a while. The target being the 2,900 range for us, which I think, as we've already said, when you get to that level of momentum, it's quite possible that you're going to have runaway momentum into a bit of a blow-off. That is also why you get blow-offs and sudden moves, the voids and the vacuums that we were describing in the key, after key moves from one level to another, you will tend to have acceleration through. So it's quite possible you could trade 3,100 or 3,047 and then collapse back down to 2.9s, 2.875 and rest and churn and chop a little bit. As you saw here in the running of the 2,000, you did in fact trade through the 2,000 right the way up to 2,075. You could have a similar event occur with the 3,000 range. And that will be ongoing for higher, in my opinion, even beyond that. So I don't feel we'll have the same period. It's quite a delay here. August 2020. We're of course past August. We're in December now, first day of December, and it's 3 years and another 4 months. 3 years and 4 months of going sideways and mostly down and being rejected 2 more times for your 3 times a lady before you break. Okay, so this was the great day. This is the month that you're going to see a close higher, and actually you got November month as a close higher on the dollar, and you will be getting it again, I assess, on the basis just on one day. Yep, it will take quite a nasty turnaround for us to get thrown back down again, and it's not one I visualize. We've got to talk about the gold-silver ratio. That got smashed down really hard, but is showing some bottoming. Part of that is actually bottoming is on the fact that silver had a very good early half of the week, and gold's having a very good end half. So it's actually, silver's doing just fine, and we'll look at silver in a minute, but gold has just taken dominance now on the last day or so and really got its horns out and showing what it's worth. So as a result, both are actually strong. Silver's close to highs, gold's making new highs, and the gold-silver ratio is still at the ridiculous element. So the next surge in silver, as I've highlighted many times before, we'll see this grinding flag break to the downside, and next stop for me is 65. And I think you're going to have that nice period in precious metals where you get a bit of love and joy, and so many people have waited so long, and I'm happy for everybody that it'll be. By the way, our Pure Gold link below, we'll be having a chat with Josh Saw of Pure Gold, and he will send gold almost any nation, and they chat to you about what you're looking to do. They've got an awesome manner. It's my chosen personal physical buyer, and you will pay the same price I pay by clicking on that link below. So there's no cost to it. The small incentive they give me comes out of their marketing budget. You will pay the exact same price I pay, and you'll get the same service. And you can tell them Francis sent you if you feel like saying it. You don't have to. And go ahead. By the way, we have well into the 7 digits of people who have purchased, and I want to thank all those people for supporting the channel, because we don't put ads on this, we don't do much, and I appreciate it. It helps make a contribution to our cost for running the YouTube channel and updating, and I appreciate those that do that. And we haven't had a single person that's complained about the service or anything about the delivery and the provision that they've received from Pure Gold. And I have silver bars, I have gold, I have platinum even. I've got lots of things I bought from them. Coins, monster boxes, you name it, every variety they can do it. And they get beautiful. They're beautiful. Some of them, it depends on the product you say. They're beautiful. The bar. Oh, I just want to hold. You know, you're holding real value when you hold that stuff in your hands. You know, I can see it and feel it, and I think you can do. Anyway, I'm preaching to the choir. Enough of that. Thank you for the support on the Pure Gold link. Also, book and become part of our community. We are regularly jumping in and out of HVFs for alongside. We've actually got a great currency trade. We've got a couple of trades that we're putting in on the cryptos, because Bitcoin's had a good spell, but we must go to the silver market. So we will say goodbye to gold for a small bit, and we'll go to XAG USD. My personal favorites. Yes, I am deep in silver. I actually fortunate enough to have some of those 1,000-ounce bars. Do you have a 1,000-ounce bar? That's the goal. Get yourself a 1,000-ounce bar, but start with 1 ounce. That's where I started. 1 ounce is good. 1 ounce is 1 ounce more than you had the day before, and then you can get tubes, then you can get boxes, and then you can grow, and so it goes. And good luck to all the stackers that have showed patience. This is our projection. That is our pole that's on that megaphone, and that runs us to the gateway of 45 and the 50 range, which will be the third time, and that is the reason why I expect a pullback there. It will be the third time you get up there, and we break on the fourth, and I don't think the fourth will be too far away, but you may find you run 45, 46, you may even get the 50 mark, close to the 81, 82, but you're probably going to have some pullback and needing to coil before you go right beyond, and that, my friends, will then be the beginning of a disorderly upside move for the metal of silver, and you will become a wealthier man, a wealthier lady, indeed. So I'm looking forward to all of you benefiting from that, and this was just a great day and a great week. I did, of course, being the nasty little wench I am, mention how terrible a day it was on Twitter. If you're not following us, great chart also there from the kinesis Patrick. I love his stuff. He's using point and figure there. Give him a shout out. I should get on and chat with him again. Hold on, we don't want anyone to talk right now. The one chart that was not so bright that I just thought I'd mention, as our chart, and we've brought you Pfizer as a short on a head and shoulder long time ago. Before the shoulder was even finalized, we said, I think this one's turning. Now, the rounds of data that are proving how much skullduggery, how much they ran one test. They got the FDA to approve one version and then released a second version that had 200 times more of the DNA in it, and why they did it, and the poisoning, the absolute exposés that are coming out of the skullduggery, the different degree of shots, etc. There wasn't the same shot for everyone. I mean, it is insane what people are discovering. The lie gets round the planet 3 or 4 times. We called it a lie on account of we knew this was an orchestrated event and we knew who the players were. But now the medical people, which I'm certainly not, are validating our initial hunch and instincts around this entire event. And as a result, you are now finding that this particular company has made our head and shoulders downside target. That is not the end of its downside, but it is the head and shoulders end on a gap and push through. Lawsuits are stacking. We will see how that goes forward, but continue to watch the revelations. I hope I haven't said too much that will get this video in trouble, but isn't it nice to have such an awesome gold, silver run and week with real triggering levels coming just at the same time as a triggering level on a particular corporation is running into some heavy weather. Don't forget to follow us on @themarketsniper on Twitter for short updates. This one was, of course, shared on Crypto Sniper because we were also mentioning Bitcoin. You can follow us on that as well. And yeah, good news in the land of silver. Let's take that off. I think that is looking most arresting, and the reason why many people go, but you haven't made the 30 that you made Wall Street bets and all of this. This is a more important move because of the technical structure. This is why it is more important, and it is a break. It is a break of a capping descending grind line. It is a break of a capping descending grind line. This was a broadening structure. It was a descending broadening structure, which is typically with a bullish pole going to turn into an upside continuation event. You didn't know that, but now you do. And much more detail on this and everything else on broadening structures. We are the only people with theory on any detail on broadening structures, on their ascending nature, whether they are in a bull pole or descending on a bull pole, or on a bearish pole, downside, ascending and descending, how to treat what will be continuation, what will be reversal, how do you determine what is ascending and descending, the role of a splitter in helping you determine that, and half moves. All of that is part and parcel exclusively on HVF method. There is no technical theory for megaphones apart from, hey, that looks like a megaphone. So what? So bloody what? What do you do with it? Does it a top? Is it a bottom? Is it a reversal? Is it a continuation pattern? People don't understand. All that means is it's getting broader. Well, we've coiled up nicely. We came out of that little trumpet, because it was on a much smaller pole. We call that a slide, actually. And it's a bit like that which you jump out of when the 747 hits the water, and that has broken. So there was a key break there, and there was lovely little setups on lower time frames, some of which we've handled already in many of our other videos. So great day for gold, great day for silver, great week for silver, great week for gold, and more of it to come. You want to bias to the long side, you want to break into the trade, but if you just chase in and FOMO at the top and use too big a size and too big a leverage, you're going to get washed. You're going to get washed. It's safer for you to invest using the link, or learn and invest in strategy so that you can add that leverage and know when it's safe to break into this larger bull move that we see going at least to the point of 2.9, possibly through 3,000 on gold side, and to the 45, possibly to the $50 range, inside that range on the silver side, before facing its first major challenge in a pullback. Okay, till next time, we'll talk to you later. Don't forget to also subscribe on the Crypto Sniper channel. We'll be updating on Bitcoin and other particular cryptos in the top 10 there as well. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. Bye for now. Epilogue 1.0, yours forgetfulness. I did promise you to show you the charts on platinum, and then failed to do so, and I hate making a promise and not delivering on it. So this is the falling wedge that broke some time ago after the March 2020 events, which had first a spill through to the bottom. We call that type 2, where you get a final flush out and you pop out the wrong side of the wedge before going the other way. However, you had quite a strong return move and a bounce, and then we've been drifting off. You can, however, see these last two, and this is a monthly chart, so this is kind of big. The last 2 months actually have been quite big hammers for platinum. They're in there. You might not be able to see that, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit and take you in a little bit on there. So let's do that. That is typical of accumulation and dip buying, and as a result it's quite bullish, and you can see them better now. Now, of course, that little candle is only 1 day. It is only 1 day, and I would imagine you're going to start to get some platinum support. So that is the end of November, the red candle with the real dip to the downside, and the green one was the end of October. Both dipped quite hard down and got bought back up to the 935 level. You are below cost. At the same time, 935, and you've got to multiply that by about 18.7 on the rand, is well short of the 20,000 rand that is needed. $1,000 platinum and a 20 rand to the dollar will just about give you cost on platinum. So it has been the other metals that have kept the justification of mining platinum going, and now, as we've already mentioned, rhodium and palladium were strongly down. So that was that. That looks quite bullish, and I think we could eventually get going. By the way, just to highlight this to you, we're going to divide this by the palladium price. Palladium, of course, was our big short call, having been too strong. Now, this is not palladium. This is platinum divided by palladium, which I've shown you many times. And there is the gross undervaluation of platinum to palladium. What happened is platinum was entirely substituted by palladium in the manufacturing process of catalytic converters, having many similar attributes. This is on a non-log scale. You can see how extreme this is. You needed 5.5 palladium ounces to get 1 platinum ounce at one point. Now you fell at one point to as low as 0.29, 0.3. That means you only needed 1/3 of an ounce of palladium to get an ounce of platinum. That is an incredible swing from 5.5 down to 1, and then losing 70% of that. Now we're back up at 0.928, where they're approximately the same. Largely on the degree of that is platinum holding its own. It hasn't been spectacular, as you saw in the platinum price, but palladium spilling, and really spilling hard. Now, what do you think as a precious rare metal is going to happen as gold is making new highs? Silver is going to start making new highs in time as part of its major pattern breakout. What do you think is going to happen to the likes of palladium and platinum? Both are going to need to go up. And who is the more undervalued? Well, historically, you've had platinum be 5.5 times the value of a palladium ounce. That doesn't mean that's the point of truth, but as you can see, most of the recent history until this has seen them be quite differently valued, and particularly over here. That's the end of our history. It takes us back to around 97. So there was only one period where you were valued at half before this, 0.5. It didn't even go the whole half. It went 0. Let's see the low, 0.55, and it then shot to 5.5 times. It's come back down, and I think we could be in for another cycle to the upside. Will it go to 5.5? I can't tell you. Could it go beyond that in a blow-off on a major precious metals boom? I also can't tell you, but I can tell you that palladium has been selling off after its recent high, so we will show you that in the market there, and eventually that has to stop in an environment of a super rare metal. This was one we've been bearish. We warned about the volatility. We've covered this a couple of times now, and we had a complex head and shoulders. You can find out how we drew that and got the targets we got that have now been made to the downside, all but I think one, and it's very close to being there. It was in the mid 900s. So how did we get there from that price behavior, apart from just the extremity of the volatility, which is usually bearish? You can click a link below and book a call. There you go. So that is palladium's down move after a very, very high point. It traded as high as 3,400. Now platinum has also been at its 935, typically more valuable than gold, and you're currently looking at a situation, and it's certainly more rare, where platinum is less than gold. So I'm not going to say platinum's going to outperform gold, but it's certainly, in terms of the nations that provide it. Let's see XPT divide XAU. Here's a very similar chart essentially. So this is platinum divided by gold. Again, you can see platinum's been 2.4 times more valuable than gold, and is now less than a half. So this falling wedge that is being broken against palladium could indeed begin to be broken to the upside at some point on platinum as well. Scarcity, irregular supply due to energy crisis, old mines reducing ore, no new finds. Big problems for the provision of the entire platinum group, which saw rhodium go to ridiculous prices. It's really hard to get a rhodium price, and I think it's Kitco rhodium price will give us. So rhodium was actually covering as I've already mentioned, for the fact that platinum was doing so poorly. But more recently is down at 4,450 after hitting 30,000. That's a huge sell-off, and it's matched palladium. So palladium has done very much what rhodium has done. So the platinum group has suffered immensely, and the god market of the platinum group of metals is platinum itself, and it is held up just. This one certainly has to go with the green agenda and climate change. You're looking at fuel cells needing platinum all the way. And it's a very green metal. So we're going to have real runs in platinum too. Okay, apologies that I needed to addend that. I suddenly realized I was winding down and I hadn't covered that. So thank you again. Hit the like and the share. Gold is the leader though of the precious metals, everything, and he is running and setting new highs. Silver will follow. The gold-silver ratio is grinding along our basing ascending grind line. It will break to the downside, is my opinion on balance of probabilities, and that will run shortly and quickly to the 65. That will be a very powerful period, both for gold and especially for silver. Real wealth will be made by those of you that have got good positions on. You need to be able to break into those positions. You need to be able to hold on to them, and you need to let the market run. We specialize in that. First link below. Buy platinum from pure gold. Buy gold from pure gold. Buy silver from pure gold on the pure gold link below. And if it's small amounts you have, use the bullion vault link and accumulate $20 a month, $20 a week, whatever you can put away. Let's get you into sound money and something moving up in fiat and debt market failure. Again, thanks for watching. Book a call if you wish to join our community.